Hi guys, welcome back to Temple Woodturnings. Busy for the last, near enough for the month, to be honest with you. I didn't realise I would get so many orders for Christmas ornaments and candles and pens and all sorts. I've been really busy. I've been doing fairs and a couple of markets. So yeah, that's why I haven't been keeping up to date with the videos, and for that, to all my subscribers, I am really sorry for that. I'm going to go ahead and do a project this week. What we're going to do is we're going to make a small box from these two pieces of beech. They're two blanks that I had left over from the snowmen that I made for the Christmas ornament challenge, and there's some quite nice figure in it. So yeah, I'm going to make a box. Now, I've made one of these before. I called it a Pandora box. I don't know why, it kind of just fitted the description, I suppose. It's an ornamental earring box with a difference, and you'll see what I mean by that as we go along. I'm not going to let you into it too much. You can watch as it develops through the video. So yeah, without further ado, let's make a small Pandora box. Okay, so I have my piece of wood in between centres, and I'm just going to use my my 1-inch roughing gouge. Now, last week I got into a bit of trouble. There was a couple of turners pointed out that I used a spindle roughing gouge on faceplate work. They were right, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. I did, but I've never said that I'm a professional at this yet, or maybe never will be. I made a mistake. It's not a good thing to use a roughing gouge on flat faceplate work. It is very dangerous. You can get a really bad catch. I went back and I did a bit more study, and I will never do it again. I've seen a couple of bad injuries that have been a result of using it. So for that, I apologise. Please don't do it. You won't see me do it again. Near enough around there. We've just got a small bit of a flat spot there, but it looks like it's going to be a nice piece of wood. Some lovely figure in it. So I'm just going to get that last little piece down, and then I'm going to turn a tenon on this end, and we'll get it into the chuck, and then I'll show you what we're going to do then. Okay, so I have our blank in our chuck, and now I'm going to do a little bit something different. This isn't going to be your normal box, as I said, and the difference is I'm going to start off, before I do any of the shaping, before I do anything at all with the box at all, I'm going to turn myself a captive ring round about the last third, I suppose, in and around here. I'm gonna cut a captive ring just in around here, and you'll see why in a bit. So yeah, in around here I'm going to do a captive ring. Now I don't have a captive ring tool or a beading tool or any kind of tool that will assist me in making this captive ring. I do all my captive rings with 2 or 3 tools that I've made myself, made from Allen wrenches, or Allen keys as we call them. I'll just put a piece of white paper here just for a second. So I don't know if you can see it there. That's my first one. It's made out of an Allen wrench. And it's just like I say, an Allen wrench that I've sharpened down to it's basically a mini scraper, I suppose is the best way I can describe it. So I use that, and then I use this one. I also use this for hollowing out my Christmas ornaments. I don't know if you can see the profile there. So it's just like a mini scraper, and I use those tools along with just a screwdriver that I've sharpened down as well. Now, until I'm lucky enough to be able to afford some proper beading tools, that's what I'll use, and I'll show you how I do them now. I'm going to use my parting tool just to go down either side of it. Okay, so I've just cleared out either side of where my ring is going to be. I always check that the wood's all good before I go ahead and start forming my ring. And also, just a handy tip is that obviously this ring is going to be round, as everything that we do is. So you want the same depth as width for your ring, so the same depth in as you do for your width. This ring is going to be roughly, now it's going to get smaller obviously, but this ring is going to be roughly 10 millimeters wide, which in old money is just over 1/4 of an inch wide. So obviously you want it to be 10 mil or 1/4 of an inch down from the top, which it is. I've guesstimated that, but I've guesstimated it right. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and form the ring. I'm going to use my my spindle gouge just to form the top part of the ring. And when I've done that, I'm going to go sanding it and finishing it, and then I'm going to gradually work in with my homemade tools, and I'm going to just work into the edge, forming just slowly in around the edges of my bead until I form the ring. You've probably noticed that I'm doing this left-handed too. in my videos I try and get some nice camera angles. A few people have commented on my camera angles. So yeah, to get camera angles sometimes you have to turn left-handed. So this is a great way of learning to turn left-handed. I would always advise that if you are going to start wood turning, to try and use both hands. Get strong with both hands, because it really does help with different angles when you're turning. If you get as strong with your left hand as you are with your right, then there's pretty much nothing you can't do. So yeah, let's make this captive ring. Okay, so I've finished my ring. I've sanded it up to 1500, and then I've put sanding sealer on it and a beeswax finish. There's a nice finish on it, nice shiny finish. And so now it's 3/4 of the way round, all the way around now. So I've just got to do the final parting off now. I'll just watch it. I'll just show you how I do that now. And there we go. That's off now. I can move that to the side and just use my parting tool just to get rid of this rough part, and then we can I can show you how we'll sand up the inside of the ring. Okay, so what I've done is I've put some double-sided tape onto the wood, and then I've stuck a piece of sandpaper, it's 240 grit, to the piece. And all we're going to do is, as that's spinning, I'm going to hold the ring and I'm going to work it left and right like this, just until we've taken the rough burr off the inside and we've got it quite round. And then I'll just rub some sanding sealer in underneath it and shine it up the best I can. You'll never get the inside perfect the same as the outside, but you can get it nice enough that that you can't really tell. So I'm just going to go ahead and sand that just on a low speed. Watch your hands at the side of the chuck and that. I use just one hand really, and just kind of work it this way, and I always keep my hand to the tail stock, so that way if I do catch my finger on the tail stock, it's not going to get bound up as much as it would on the chuck, I can kind of just let go. Okay. And you just work the ring left and right, keeping the shape and the contour inside round. I have my captive ring done. I have it finished, and what I want to do now is I want to shape the top of my box to what I want. Okay, so that's my basic shape on the top. I've gone with the rings. I've got it sanded to 240 at the moment. Now the next stage I'm going to do is, before I do too much sanding, is I'm going to drill some holes into this part here. And now I don't have an indexing lathe, obviously, because this is only a very cheap lathe. But what I do have is on my chuck, I'll just move you around here. On my chuck, obviously it's 4 jaws, so there's even spaces between the jaws. So what I'm going to do is bring that around there so you can see. With each gap here in the jaws, I'm going to bring that along like so, and then I'm going to mark inside here like that, and then I'm going to do the same with the next one. I'm going to bring the line along to about there, and the same with the next one. There, and the last one. And one there. So I'm going to drill 8 holes through into the centre. I'll come back when I've drilled those holes. Okay, so what I've done is I've drilled holes all the way around the centre of here, and I've just drilled in far enough that I can leave a wall, and then I'm going to put my Forstner bit in through and hollow out this centre. Okay, so I've made a bit of a mess up. I drilled these holes too big, and there's just not enough strength in this part to do what I was going to do. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is I'm going to have to part this off here and take this piece away and use it as a lid, and part this off here and get rid of those holes and do a bit of a design change, because yeah, I messed that up. The original one I did, it was a while ago, I made those holes smaller. So yeah, I'm going to part that off, and we're going to do a design change. Okay, so design change done. I just parted the two pieces off, turned off a tenon, and then pushed this piece onto this piece, and glued it up. That's good and strong now. It just means that I won't have the holes underneath the ring like I wanted to, but it's alright. It's kind of made it a bit shorter now and more box-like anyway, so I don't mind. These things happen, but we design it and we overcome any problems that we hit, so you live and learn. So I'll carry on with this piece and see where it takes us. Okay, so that's that hollowed out. I'm going to sand that up, and then I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to put the other, put this onto the chuck, reverse chuck it, and we're going to make a tenon to fit so that top can click onto this. Try and make a nice tight fit. Okay, so it's here that the SD card in my camera failed and I lost the footage. But as you can see, on the joint of the box, I textured and I coloured with a black permanent marker, and I burnt a ring both top and bottom. Okay guys, so that's it. Part 1 of the Pandora box. I finished it in the end with a sanding sealer, except for where I textured and then did the marker. If you go over with sanding sealer over the permanent marker, it does take it off and it smudges it. So yeah, I didn't put sanding sealer there. I did everywhere else, and then I did a spray acrylic lacquer over the rest. The friction lid for the bottom part of the box, and then it's hollowed out to nearly halfway again in the top. Part 2 will show us making the lid and the finial, and also there's an insert that goes in that's kind of a little secret compartment, but I'll explain that in part 2. And of course you've got the captive ring. I know we had a little bit of a design opportunity halfway through, but you know, sometimes things go wrong, but we can, that's a good thing about wood turning, we can adapt it and we can overcome. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process of making this. Part 2 will follow very shortly. I didn't want to make the whole thing in one video because it would be far too long. If you like what you've seen, please push the like. Please share my videos, it does help to get them out there. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I appreciate you stopping by and watching. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.